On Friday, Turkey retaliated against Syrian government forces in Idlib province for Thursday's airstrike that killed 33 Turkish soldiers and wounded dozens. Turkey announced it had hit over 200 targets with ground and air forces and destroyed 5 Syrian government choppers, 23 tanks, 10 armored vehicles, as well as several ammunition and equipment depots. This was the deadliest attack Turkey suffered since 1993. Following the attack, Turkey's Defense Minister Hulusi Akar exchanged accusations with Moscow.
This attack happened despite the location of our troops being coordinated in advance with Russian officials on the ground. Unfortunately, the attack continued after we had warned following the first strike.
Moscow, however, denied the claims.
There are agreements between our two militaries, and if this agreement is implemented in full, including the sharing of exact coordinates of the location of Turkish troops, then such tragedies could have been avoided.
On Friday, Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan held a phone conversation with Russian President Vladimir Putin and agreed to meet in person to discuss Idlib soon. So far, talks between Russian and Turkish officials have failed. Also on Friday, Turkish officials again stated that even though Turkey's refugee policy had not changed, they were not able to prevent migrants from crossing borders any longer. This was against an agreement Turkey had sealed with the European Union. In March of 2016, Turkey signed a migrant deal with the EU. Under the agreement, Turkey was expected to prevent refugees from reaching the EU, especially Greek islands. In exchange, Turkey was promised 6.6 billion euros in financial aid and visa-free travel for Turkish citizens if Turkey introduced dozens of reforms. Hundreds of migrants headed towards the Greek border after Thursday's airstrike and weren't stopped by Turkish officials, but they were blocked by Greek authorities. Some Greek police used tear gas on the refugees to disperse the crowds. Greek officials announced no visitors without legal documents would be allowed to cross into Greece. On Friday, NATO and the United Nations Security Council both held emergency meetings over the airstrikes in Syria. UN Secretary General Guterres called for an immediate ceasefire in the region, and NATO expressed its full solidarity with Turkey. President Erdogan also held a phone conversation with U.S. President Donald Trump and German Chancellor Angela Merkel, both of whom condemned Syria's attack on Turkish forces in Idlib. Michal Bardavid, CGTN, Istanbul.